Huh? What are you doing in my swamp?
Hello everybody, this is Soberboy, and I'm going to be doing my review for the 1988 movie A Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master. So, in this movie, Freddy comes back and gets his revenge on the Dream Warriors and kills the remaining three, and he then starts using Kristen's friend Alice to gain access to new victims to feed off of their fear and kill them. So it's up to Alice and her friend Dan to try to stop Freddy for good. This one is pretty good. It's not as good as the first and third movies, but it's still a pretty good sequel. This is the one where it went more into the comedic side of Freddy. He's not as intimidating and stuff, although he does still have a pretty good presence in this movie and everything. There are parts where he is still a little bit creepy, but this has some of the best kills in the franchise, especially that cockroach kill. It's just so gruesome and everything, and the MPAA was really messing with this movie and everything on the blood and everything, so they got creative with the kills and everything where they didn't have to have blood to make the kills work. Like there's this girl that has asthma and he's like, let's suck face, and then he sucks all the air and stuff out of her body. It's just very good kill. But like I said, my favorite one is the cockroach kill, because it's so brutal and gross looking, and it's like, man, I don't get how they can get away with that in the R rating, but they can't have blood in it. But it worked. I think they did a good job with making the kills creative in this movie, and the cast in here are all pretty good. You got the returning team members from the Dream Warriors and everything, and they're all fine and everything. Kincaid and Joey are once again great and everything. I just wish they would have actually had more time on screen and everything, because they get killed off within the first 20 minutes of the movie, and then Kristen gets killed off within 30 minutes, and she was the one that was probably the most disappointing death out of all of them. He just throws her in a furnace, and it kind of does take away from the ending of the third movie, because you know they're all going to die anyway and everything. That's one thing about this movie that I don't like, is it's, as soon as it starts, it just undoes the ending of the third one, and that part does kind of annoy me a little bit. I'm not going to lie and say it doesn't, but but it makes up for it with the awesome kills and everything, and the soundtrack to this one is pretty good too. I like the score in here. It's not near as good as the original score, but it's still got a pretty good score, and once again the special effects are amazing in this, just like they are in most of these movies. That's one thing I will say about the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, is they have some of the best special effects in horror movies and stuff, and this one is no exception. That, like I said, that cockroach scene alone is just amazing special effects and stuff. And then you got you got a bunch of other different little scenes in here that just have really great special effects, because of the kills and stuff are so unique and everything, and I like that about it. It has some pretty cool sets and everything, and this movie does kind of feel like it was part of the MTV generation and everything. This kind of felt like an MTV type of movie, if that makes sense. If you see it, if you've watched old school MTV stuff, you probably would get what I mean by that. But it really just feels like an 80s movie and everything, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's part of what I love about these 80s slashers movies, is that 80s feel to it. It's really cheesy at times and everything. I don't really like how they brought Freddy back. They had the dog piss on the ground and he comes back, which I know it was part of the dream sequence and stuff, but I just thought it was dumb. They didn't really give a good explanation of how Freddy came back, because they didn't really have one. They just wanted to have him in there or bring him back and everything. I didn't really like that about it. And like I said, there are some things with the story. The pacing is a little off. It gets kind of slow in the middle, and it isn't the best story in the franchise, but it's good enough. And for being a follow-up to 3, which is one of the best in the series, I gotta say this one still holds up pretty well. It just isn't quite as good as the other movie in the franchise, except I think it's better than 2 for sure. But up to this point, it's still a pretty good series going on and everything. And even though this one isn't one of my most favorites, I can still handle watching it. And I don't mind watching it every now and then. And like I said, it has some good moments. And the scene with Freddy on the beach with the sunglasses, I don't know why, but I always love that scene. I just think he looks really cool in that scene. It's cheesy, yes, but it's still cool. But yeah, this is a fun movie. And it's not the best in the franchise, but it's not the worst either. It's just good. So all in all, I'd say I'd give this one a 7.5 out of 10. It could have been a lot better, but it could have been a lot worse. It's just kind of middle of the road for me and everything. So let me know in the comments what you think of Nightmare on Elm Street 4: The Dream Master. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.